say they got the fireworks, yeah, they say they got the show. You're around the shoots, you're the best, so let's go.
Coffey Anderson, how are you? Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to Texas Toast with me, Miss Helen, and it's just such an honor to have you. I am enamored. Your charisma, your authenticity, your work ethic. I am so impressed. And hometown Bangs, Texas.
Come on, Central Texas, crappie fishing.
Aren't you crappie fish?
Homemade jigs. Who are you talking to?
Oh my gosh, are we going to start a fishing podcast now? Because fishing is my life. Seriously.
Okay. Leadhead, squirrel hair, homemade tide. What y'all talking about? Okay.
Well, I'm a saltwater girl, but you know, freshwater anglers make the best saltwater anglers. You know that, right?
I don't know.
Especially artificial. If you're fishing artificial, we'll get bass people on the boat and they're like intimidated by the saltwater, and it's like bass anglers from freshwater make the best artificial saltwater anglers.
Teach me how to Dougie. I'm there. Where you at right now? Where you at?
Matagorda, Texas.
Where is that?
It's in between. It's in Paradise. It's actually, we're in between Corpus and Galveston.
Oh yeah, one-way ticket. I'll be there Wednesday. Let's go.
Yeah, you come on. As a matter of fact, Captain Ron and I'll take you fishing. He has a charter, a guide service, and I was telling producer Kyle earlier that we had a situation on the boat Saturday where he got called off the boat, and we had 4 gentlemen on the charter. I ran the boat for an hour.
I believe you can.
And they weren't scared. They didn't get scared. Okay, Coffey, let's talk about you, my fellow angler, and growing up in Banks, Texas, crappie fishing. What else did you do growing up?
You know, I was a basketball standout.
Wow.
There was nothing else to do on County Road 147.
Uh-huh.
I had a basketball hoop, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make 100 shots before I go in the house, and I did that every day for about 3 summers. And then basketball season came around, and I was like, well, if I could make 100, at least I can make 20 in a game.
That's awesome. And y'all were the Dragons, right?
We were, yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. Nothing like your hometown.
No, and I just wrote a song. It's called Where I'm From, and I was recording it yesterday. And I sent it to my buddy Mitchell Tenpenny, and he was like, "Bro, you write the best nostalgic." Because I love being from Texas. I love being from Central Texas. Mm-hmm. I love the fact that we have Texas history. Texas history. I thought everybody in the country learned Texas history. They don't, and no other states have a history class about their state but us.
Amen. That's right.
It shows you how special we are and where the heritage comes from. So there's no California history. There's no New Mexico history. Honestly, who would care about either one of those? Not me, not you. But Texas history is so cool. Central Texas had so much pride. And when I was in high school, I started training with other guys that were athletes. So we had Colt McCoy in the weight room before he got big. Jordan Shipley was all state at that time. His brother Jackson Shipley, both of them went on to the University of Texas, and then went on to the NFL. We had so much rich. Drowning Pool came in and played at our park before Let the Bodies Hit the Floor hit big. Pat Green was playing. Cross Canadian Ragweed came to our town, sang on a gooseneck flatbed trailer.
Love it.
Dwight Yoakam came to the Brownwood Coliseum. It was just different. Now the Brownwood Coliseum, they don't let anybody in there to play except Howard Payne volleyball. It's like you're missing the component of what live music does for a community.
So true.
The fact that when a big name artist comes to a small market, it makes little people feel like something good could come to my town. It also makes people spend their money in your town opposed to going to Dallas, going to Austin, going to the Houston Rodeo. There's a significant difference when you bring in quality.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nothing like live music. And, you know, and it's so funny. And I'm sure you've heard the stories too, and you've seen it, but I know for a fact that I will walk away with new friends when I go to a live music festival.
Every day.
Like the people are around you, you're bonded with the music already. And next thing you know, you're exchanging numbers. Next thing you know, they're coming to fish with us. Then they're like family. You know, it's just, it bonds. You're exactly right. Yes. And speaking of music, your music is just amazing. I went through and did some previewing, and Mr. Red, White, and Blue is so well written. The video stole my heart. But then I got to Your New Boyfriend Is Ugly, and I smiled till I hurt. So tell me your inspiration. How long have you been songwriting?
I just kind of joking around making songs in junior high and high school, just playing, writing raps with my friends. And I first picked up a guitar to play in college. I was bored waiting on the basketball practice. I just picked up a guitar from a girl I was dating's daddy, and she dumped me, and I kept the guitar in the breakup. I won.
Love it.
And out of that, I just started writing simple songs, and I think the simplicity of country music really shows the craftsmanship. When you can make a simple song that everybody can relate to, that's a gift, because it's not often.
Amen.
Not often.
So true.
You'll have somebody do it once and they have a one hit. They release 5 more albums and nobody cares, because the giftedness of making something that's relatable is hard to do. And I think with Mr. Red, my inspiration comes from meeting people. I always ask, I'll sit on a plane and go, tell me your story. What do you do? And I was, with Mr. Red, White, and Blue, we were giving a home away with Military Warrior Support Foundation with General Leroy Sisco, 3-star General of the U.S. Marines. And we were giving it to a Marine that he was the only one alive out of his unit. And he had just come back probably a month from combat before that. And when the national anthem played, Helen, there was a very different look. Miss Helen, there was a very different look in his eyes. And so I put my guitar on and I started strumming. And my buddy, Trevor, was walking with me. And he goes, he's just doing like this. He's one of those guys that's, he's oversaved. You ever seen those people? Everything is Jesus. Yes. Everything is thank you, Jesus.
That's my family.
Listen,
that's in my family.
We got the parking spot at Chick-fil-A. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. Put me in front, the head and not the tail. I'm like, all right, bro, it's a parking spot. But that's him. And so he's walking around with me going, come on, use him, Lord. Come on. And so he's hyping it up. And so, and I'm getting chills. Look at this.
I know, me too.
And the song just goes, boom, 10 minutes. I recorded in my messenger on my phone. I come back, I can't shake it. I finish it up, perfect the lyrics. I call a guy that worked with Florida Georgia Line named Ilya Tushinsky. Russian, he was in a band called Bering Strait. They played all strings. It's very cool. And he was in Nashville. He had worked on Cruise and some other songs. I called him and I said, I have this much to record my song. Can you help me? I think you're amazing. He goes, you need this much. Call me when you have this much. And I said, okay. And so he hung up. I called him back. 10 seconds later, yes, Mr. Anderson, I'm going to send you my song. I'm going to sing it on my phone. If I stink, I'll never call you. If you think there's potential, you call me back. And I hung up. I sent him the song. 5 minutes later, he calls and goes, I'll take this much. I started crying. I said, okay, all right, okay. I called my best friend at the Kansas City Royals. I said, Danny, he had just gotten drafted. I said, Danny, I need this much to pay for my recording of my album. And he goes, what's your Bank of America?
Wow.
I'm like, okay, all right. So within an hour, I not only got the producer I wanted, I got the money that I needed. I go to Nashville and I'm like, I hear a fiddle here, I hear a banjo here, I hear a steel here. And he goes, yes, you are artist. I produce, have seat. He gave me the Russian, have seat.
Really?
Makes me feel like I was gonna end up with cement shoes somewhere. I didn't sit down. So I was like, I'm gonna sit down. And When he played the banjo lick for Mr. Red, White, and Blue, I knew it was going to change my career. I knew it was going to change lives, because most artists only worry about the songs. They don't focus on the marketing and letting people know about it. You have to be a music evangelist. You have to be a person that's going to get out and say, I am going to build this. I am going to preach this from the rooftops until people understand. And a lot of times, the ones that are preaching don't have the quality content. That's why you have this enormous influx of crap music, but genius marketers. Mm-hmm. When did we stop caring about the quality of what we were making and started worrying about how cool we looked? I'll wait. Catch what I'm saying. We have so many people right now that don't worry about the quality of music. That's why Texas country radio stations are falling apart, because they decide to put people on the radio that have one microphone in the middle of the garage, and the recording doesn't sound good, and people don't have to listen to that anymore.
Exactly.
They don't. Texas artists can go to Nashville just like I do, just like Cody Johnson does. We make high quality sounding music, and we bring it back here, and we blossom where we're playing it.
Exactly. And you know, that was when we were talking about Texas and our great state in the Texas history earlier. Texas, we have our own music chart. We started our own music chart many, many, many moons ago. I was in on with all the Texas artists when they first started getting airplay on radio. Radio was my background, and I really supported our Texas artists, and they have went places, and now you're seeing the generations that watched the Pat Greens and Roger Craigers and Gary P. Nuns, Robert O'Keefe on stage. Now, you know, I mean, maybe I've been through probably 2 generations going through the Texas music system. So that's something to be very proud of. But thanks so much for sharing that story. Now I'm really going to cry when I watch that video.
Oh my God. Yeah, it took so many things for that to happen. It took so many enormous things for that to happen. There was nobody else in my life with that type of income. And Danny got drafted. Mm-hmm. So you're 1 in 8 million players to get drafted. And he, like the month before that, he got drafted. And so there were so many things that had to happen for that to happen. But I think being at the Brown County Stock Show Rodeo, when I saw Pat, when I saw, I think it was Cross Canadian Ragweed played Friday, Pat played Saturday. And, you know, my dad was big time Pentecostal. We couldn't go nowhere, couldn't listen to nothing but Chandala, you know, gospel, no joke. And so he let me go. And so I had my Wranglers. I had the worst brush popper.
All right.
Shirt you could ever see.
Was it all starched? Was it all starchy?
I was moving like, okay, we're over here. Okay, cool. You know, because you're not supposed to starch the shirt. The nipples still hurt from not having an undershirt with starch.
Kids have it easy these days.
Oh, man. If you didn't look like a cardboard cutout, you weren't real, people. You weren't real.
That is true story. True story. You nailed it.
It takes, but Texas country gave us the foundation to say, we don't need anybody else. Mm-hmm. We don't need anybody else. When the outsiders came here, the highwaymen came here, started wearing jeans instead of the suits like Chet Atkins was making them do in Nashville. When Willie came here, they started filming movies. It goes back. This is bigger than us. We can't keep accepting mediocrity when it comes to making our content. We cannot. And even our live shows, when you see my live show, we have the LED wall. We have the transitions, all of it down. Cody does the same thing. Aaron does the same thing. There's so many other guys that are doing that. I'm just naming buddies that I know. But at that level, you're going, okay. And the young boys, murdering it.
Oh my gosh. Do you know?
Murdering it.
Yes.
What's the boy with the red? What was his name? The one he got the ramen noodles for hair.
Ramen noodles for hair. Okay, we got to figure this out.
He out of Oklahoma, like between Oklahoma and Texas. Reed Southall. Don't he look like?
Yes. Oh, he's one of my favorites.
Oh, always.
I have him on the boat. Mm-hmm.
They're a different breed, and I love it. And they're not afraid to play everywhere. It's the coolest thing. And so, where we're going is bigger than what any of us could have ever thought. but I do encourage my upstarts in Texas. You got to take pride in what you're making.
That was one of the things I wanted to ask you. I want to do, because I know we have a lot of musician friendly people listening that will be tuning into the podcast. Your advice, and you're laying it out. This is Texas Music 101 with Coffey Anderson. And
hey, y'all want? Shoot, I'll teach you the game. I'll teach you the game. What do you need, baby?
Aw.
Huh? What do you need?
Oh, what a cutie pie.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Miss Helen. What's your name?
Miss Helen. What's your name? Everly Rose.
All beautiful. Right. You working with Dad today?
Yes, ma'am.
I think you work with your dad a lot, because aren't y'all on TV? Y'all have like this show called Country Ever After?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
See, and that's another thing. Well, that something happened with the record label, and then you just went in your garage and made your own branding, and look at your followers and all the stuff that you do outside of music with your Country Ever After. You do commercials and your social media. Right.
Okay. So number one thing I thought was, as long as I had the internet, as long as I had worldwide distribution, I could make money. And distribution came through TuneCore, CD Baby, DistroKid. I'm a fan of DistroKid above all of them. And for $19 a year, I'm able to release as much music as I want to. And I was verified on Spotify the day that I signed up with them. And it continued to grow from there. To know that if you can play and you can sing, if you don't make any money, it's your fault. People are paying for art. Mm-hmm. And so when the booking agencies, when the Red 11s told me no, and all the other guys were like, no, we don't, we have our guy. Okay, thank you. All of that. I get it. Cool. What I did was I bought a Canon T2i camera. I bought a Canon T2i.
Okay, right here. Beautiful.
This is what we shot Mr. Red, White, and Blue on. And
seriously.
Oh yeah, this camera here, battery still works in it. And so we went manual focus, 50 lens, and we would shoot. And so I would shoot one close on my face with me singing stationary. I would shoot one with me performing by myself. I would shoot another to the song. So the song would play, and I would shoot the band, and then I would shoot all of us together. I would take those 4 clips and make a music video out of it. It took 4 takes. The song is 3 minutes and 30 seconds long. So in 15 minutes of videoing, now I have a music video at a high quality. Inside of the video, I put my booking email at the bottom along with my phone number. There's no reason for me to have a phone if it's not going to make me money. There's no reason for me to have a dog in my house if he doesn't listen. So everything is trained, or everything brings money in my home. Everything, that's what it is. Either you help or you're out. So my phone, I used it as a way to use it for bookings. I also joined the Texas Association of Fairs and Events. And so when I became a member, it was $275 a year. If I'm talking too fast, you're listening too slow, for any artists out there, you should have a notepad writing everything I'm saying down. Texas Association of Fairs and Events. And I became a member at $275. I got my own booth. They gave me a 10 by 12 booth. And I got a couple of banner stands from a local printer for $85 with my face on it. And I got 2 of those. I put them up on the sides. I got my TV from the house. I ran a loop from my laptop to show some of my music videos. And I sat out there and I came up with a 9-second elevator pitch. Hi, my name is Coffey Anderson. I have a 90-minute high-energy, family-friendly country music show that sells beer with the best of them. How can I help you?
Wow.
Not, are you looking to book me? How can I help you? Second question was, what do y'all need? Because what it does when you're selling yourself, it puts them in a position to look at where they're missing, which in a negotiation gives you the higher up. What are you needing? Well, we need somebody on Saturday night. We need somebody on Friday. I need somebody to play before Jason Aldean. I need somebody to open up. Okay, great. What's the date? What is it available? Most people think that negotiations have to be hard. So it got to the point where it got so big for me that I needed help, because when you're getting 50 or 60 booking requests a week, in 16 years, I've never cold called. I've never had to cold call to go sing anywhere. So because all of a sudden, when you release 50 music videos and it all has your booking email or your agent's information underneath the bottom, you don't have to worry about it. Why? Because I have 50 employees working 24 hours a day. They never go hoarse. They never call in for a sick day. They never have a vacation. I used video as an employee to sell me, to sell my show, to sell my music. You can't say you can't make a video because this phone shoots just as good as this thing did. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that's stopping you is you. The next thing the next thing we did was that we made songs that people wanted to dance to and relate to. It's not hard. When you go to a place and it's down, you moving like this. And I ain't even said nothing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't. You don't have to push the envelope. I didn't want to be Pat. I didn't want to be Co. I didn't want to be anybody. Who am I? Patriotic, family friendly. So I made music for both because I felt like there were people out there that needed it. And when it came to bookings, I didn't ask everybody else, what are you charging? I charged according to what my value was bringing. I looked at where I really was, how many tickets they could really sell, and how could I up the value? So when I told someone, because at that time I think we were doing 5,002 rooms, 5,003 double rooms for my boys to stay overnight. And because of that, other bands were saying 1,100, 700. Why would somebody pay you $5,000 and you're not on Texas Country Radio? Because I didn't have the budget for that. My rebuttal was, I'll come in a day early. I'll go to the high school and I'll talk to the kids about anti-bullying.
Nice.
Come in and talk to the kids. So I go to the high school. I do I talked to 1,000 kids. I went to Edna, Texas. I talked to 1,000 kids.
That's right down the road from me.
Okay, so that night after the football game, after the Cowboys played, guess what? I jumped on a gooseneck flatbed trailer. We ran it with the generator, and I played the barn dance. They said, well, we need somebody for Friday and Saturday, and we got $9,000. I said, okay, well, why don't y'all book us? Because we need somebody for Friday. We only got $9,000. I said, okay, cool. Let's do it for 10, and I'll do both nights. Okay. Guys, you have to bring value. So not only did I talk to the kids, I branded calves. So I call branding calves when you get them young and you brand them early. So I have 1,000 kids in Edna right now that I'm the first famous person that they've ever met, ever heard. They download everything and they dance to me. Some of these guys found their girlfriend. They found the love of their life listening to my song at the concert. Guess what? I've branded calves. I have 1,000 fans for life. I also make a Facebook commercial. Hello, this is Coffey Anderson. I cannot wait to see you guys March 9th, Tuesday on the podcast. It's going to be amazing. Miss Helen and I are going to have an amazing time. Click on the link below to buy your tickets, or you can watch the show on streaming right now. I love you. Thank you so much for supporting me. I appreciate it. Click like, click share. I will see you in a few minutes. Bye. I take that. Boom. I send that to the buyer. I send that to the buyer. Now, the people that aren't good at social media, now they have a commercial.
Right.
That they can run, and I produced it. So not only do they get a show, they get a high school program, and they get a commercial. Nobody has a problem writing a $11,000 check, $13,000 check, because they're getting help. Mm-hmm. If you only take from the buyer, you don't win. They can't make money with you. You'll never get a booking.
Love the story about Edna. I've spent lots of time there at the Jackson County Fair, and they good people in Edna. I love that place, just right down the road. Community. And then you have some work that you do with the Military Warriors Support Foundation out of San Antonio.
Right. So every $20,000 we raise, we're able to give a home away, tax-free, mortgage-free, to a combat veteran or a Gold Star family. Love it. And Bank of America, BBVA, and B of A of North Arizona are the ones that we've worked with directly. 3-star General Leroy Sisco of the U.S. Marines, he gives those homes away with George Strait. You ever go to the George Strait concert and see those homes given away? That's my buddy. That's the company that we work with.
Wow, that's awesome.
And looking at the political climate, we have to be our brother's keepers. And so the VA system has been broken, and they've been overworked and underpaid for years.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we have to come up with our own systems to take care, because the working class is where our military comes from, if you have not noticed.
Absolutely.
Come on, people. Mm-hmm. So we have to take care of them, take care of their families. Some of them don't make it home. And the ones that do make it home that are broken, we try to fix that. So yeah, I'm honored to do it. My daddy was Air Force. He gave his hearing in the United States Air Force. and he was loading ammo and didn't have any ear protection back in those days. They didn't know those things. So
Right.
this is firsthand. This is firsthand.
So what do you got? What do you got cooking? What's on the stove these days as far as
Ooh.
music and where you're gonna go, what you're gonna be doing?
Well, we're working on shows right now. I am putting together a deal with Chevrolet General Motors right now. I just signed a sponsorship deal with Kimes Ranch Jeans. I performed at NFR. I did the national anthem on the day that Charlie Pride passed away.
Oh wow!
And some things are bigger than us. Some things are just bigger than us. And I felt like with the new record, with the new album, that we needed to keep patriotism going. I felt like we needed to get love back. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of trash music. There's a lot of things that are being released to our kids, to our families. And because it's the only thing mainstream, people are accepting it. And I think that when you go counterculture is when you hit it big. Mystery White and Blue hit it big because there was nothing else like it. And Cowboys Like Me went big because there was nothing like it. And so Better Today, my wedding song, went big because there's
beautiful. It's
like
beautiful.
It. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to make a warning for guys, and it's called If You Happen to See Her. And it is early, but I want to play just a piece of it for you. If you happen to see her, tell her that she stole my heart. Tell her that I fall apart when she's not around. If you happen to see her, tell her that I miss her style. Tell her that she drove me wild. She's an angel on the ground.
Oh, wow.
Hold them close. A good woman is hard to find. When she's gone, she's gone. You can't change her mind. You'll pray for the way things were if you happen to see her.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I would love for you to down the road join me again, please, okay, and stay in touch.
Thank you for having me. This is the biggest wealth transfer for artists and that we've ever seen. I know independent artists that are making 6 figures a week with their talent as a business. And I want artists to really understand it is a lot of hard work. I drove my bus for the first 11 years. It was an RV. It wasn't a tour bus. It wasn't a pre-boast. It was a Ford B10, had a bed in the back with really bad sheets. I still scratch, you know. Don't be delusional with how you think a celebrity is supposed to look. And even when Netflix came to our house, I still drove my RV. I didn't change. I didn't try to put anything on for TV. And we are who we are no matter where we are.
That's right. And that's what makes you so special. I can just, awesome. Your spirit and your charisma, and it's been an absolute honor visiting with you. And for everyone listening, where can they, easiest place to find you?
Online, absolutely. iTunes, Spotify. Coffey is spelled like coffee only with the EY. Mm-hmm. Coffey. My sister still calls me Coffey. Everybody, I mean, Coffey!
I wondered about that.
Oh yeah, and I had a bus driver call me Cookie till I graduated, and it was a man. That's weird, but it's all good. I think iTunes, Spotify, any questions that any artists have, please do not hesitate to message me. And we also have a record label in a box, and which is a system that teaches artists how to do exactly what I've done. It's 11 hours of video. I even show them how to edit music videos, how to get on YouTube, how to name a video when you want to get more hits on YouTube. So thank you for having me, Miss Helen. Thank you so much for pouring into to artists. Thank you so much for taking care of artists and going to bat for us. Thank you so much for what you've done at radio. There is no other place like Texas, Texas country, Texas. There's nothing like it.
No.
And Nashville is so broken that they're trying to duplicate what you helped create.
Right, right.
Thank
All
you.
right. Coffey Anderson, what an honor. Thank you so much.
God bless y'all.
You too.